How's it going? Just give me a second. I know I'm like right on the bubble of being almost being late. Have you ever had one of those weekends where you knew it was going to be busy, but then shit happens and it becomes a race that you didn't want to run in the first place? So, we think we may have found the problem with the freezer. Just give me a second here, guys. Give everybody a minute to come in. Let me know if it needs to be cleaned, dear. Looks clean? Good. Martin Rios! Hi, darling. How's chemo going? Seashell, Melody Ray, Jill V, The Sticker Farm, Jean Phillips, Jill V, Fazy. Fazy, are you my friend Faye from Apsley? If so, just say yes or no. And because I'm getting a vibe off of you, like you're a long lost friend. Jean Phillips, Joe Mama. And that's about it for the moment. I'll say hi to everybody in a second. So, here's a to-do. I have to roll before I start, and anybody who doesn't like that, too bad. It's been a weekend. This is the first I have sat down other than to ride in my truck on the hunt for a freezer. Tammy, Jean Kubicek, Karen Parsons, Rosie Slade. Don't be asking me for a card for your pop-up today, Rosie. Tina Elliott. Okay, let me just get rolling. Man, my hands are swollen. Get that canner rolling, rawhide. Hi, Mulga. How's it going? Prepping for heaven. You missed the beginning. We haven't even begun yet, sweetheart. We've only been here 2 minutes. I'm just filling the space and the time while I get some medication here while people are still showing up. Lena K, Susie Q, how's it going? Hey, Natalie, Alice, Aaron, Terry Boivin. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But I live in Quebec and that would be pronounced Boivin. Oh, Howie, I smell a fire. Yeah. Oh, hey, Pa. Hear the big old raven going by? Crow? We call them the Foley family, Howard's family. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Diane Lazachuk. I'm glad you're here, Mocha. Okay, so here's been my weekend. What? Why? Every time I go live. Did you just toot? Gracie McGill. Gracie McGill. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Little scratch, and then you go away and don't come back until Mommy's done, okay? Because Mommy's still got a lot of work to do. And I'm sorry I've been ignoring you. Ask Daddy to take you a coach with it. Right? Where you go. Do not make eye contact. I did the hot soapy water and was fine till I put my hands in water today. I'm trying to soak them in milk to get the sting out. Sting from what, honey? Look at my fingernail. I don't know if you can see that, but there it is. I took a chunk right down into the quick. Hey, Julius Guga. I like the face Bev just made. She's busy fixing her medicine, I think. Yes. So anyway, what's going on? This is what happened, okay? I have no hinges on my freezer. So it's awkward too. You got to lean the lid up. Howie's going to be doing that soon. He's going to be fixing it all. Today, I hope. And the lid fell down behind. So I had to put cardboard boxes on top till Howie got home an hour later and could get the lid back on. But I noticed my tomatoes weren't freezing properly. Like things weren't freezing properly. They were partially frozen, but not freezing properly. And so I'm like, holy crap. And then I noticed all my pork was thawed. My chicken was still partially frozen. My cottage roll was still partially frozen. The bacon was on the bottom, still partially frozen. So the pork chops, my cousin Angie will be really happy to find out have to be tossed in the garbage. But I got the canner going and I canned the chicken and the cottage rolls for supper tonight. Hey, say you want a revolution, well, you know, Tina, yellow bird. So anyway, I thought I would try oven roasting tomatoes, but the ones in the freezer had to have boiling water put over them and then slip their skins and pureed and put in the stock pot. But the ones I had just bought, my freezer wasn't freezing properly. So I can't put them in the freezer because God knows how long it'll take them to freeze. So I cut the tops. You'll get the video of me, the difference between oven roasting. I'm going to tell you, the first couple of trays, I burnt around the edges. It was a nightmare. And then I realized where I was getting my information. Heather, the needy homesteader, she probably has a gas convection oven because I can't see roasting them at 375 for 2 hours. Mine took an hour and a half at 325 on the middle rack. So you're going to see the difference between, you're going to see all that in a video this week. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Natalie. Happy birthday to you. Mwah, 60 looks good on you, baby. Hi, Andrew. How are you? Laura Higgins. Hi. Hi. So I ended up getting I got a stock pot and a half, which went into my big stock pot. And then I canned up the chicken. After that, before I went to bed last night, I canned the chicken. And it's in the pantry. And now we went out this morning. I found somebody fairly local and got a small Danby secondhand freezer for $125, just in case Howie can't fix the big freezer because we think we know what the problem is. I'm missing a cookie sheet. And Howie thinks it fell down behind the freezer and is blocking a vent. Now, he got this idea because my ice maker has a vent on the side. And if you put the bottle of soap, the sink soap, too close to it, it feeds hot air back in and it doesn't allow it to freeze properly. So Howie is putting this new small freezer in my pantry. It's going to be for bread and butter and stuff. The small freezer in the porch is going to be all veg. And if he can fix the big freezer by taking my flour out of it and all that stuff and taking if there's a cookie tray behind it, take that out, and we're going to see if that fixes the freezer. If that fixes the freezer, I don't have to buy another one. So, yeah. So now I've got a roasting pan, a heaped roasting pan full of, my celery looks good. Did not do well this year. I didn't water it. It didn't get watered every single day. So a lot of the bigger stalks are hollow. And so most of my celery is going to be going to broth. But hey, Simply Jessica. I hope that's all it is too, Malka. I hope he can fix it. And right? Because I was going to get a smaller freezer, another small freezer anyway. And he's putting this one in my pantry, so I don't have to go out into the porch to get, stuff. So, hey, Kathleen Plumley, how are you, darling? So, yeah, that's what's going on. So now I have a roasting pan full of, I did a video on, it hasn't been released yet, on cutting up and salting and then rinsing and then blanching and then freezing a sheet of zucchini. And it's the sheet of zucchini that didn't completely freeze that set my alarm bells running off. And they got bagged up and put in the little freezer. And that's when I went and looked at the big freezer because I was starting tomatoes. So I got more zucchini coming. So I'm throwing those zucchini I threw them into the roasting pan, a nice big Ziploc bag. And I threw a bag of zucchini, 12 or 13 onions chunked up, celery, and 3 really big leeks that I got on sale at the grocery store. So those are roasting, and they're going to be canned with my pureed tomatoes. And if I have leftover more tomatoes than vegetables at the end, I will just can up some tomatoes. Hey, Chaos, how's it going? It would be a blessing, Natalie, for sure. So that's kind of what's going on. So as soon as I put the cottage roll and 3 wedges of cabbage and 3 potatoes and an onion in the pot for supper. And that's going to be ready in about 3 hours. And then after supper, and we watch a little bit of TV and I put my feet up for a minute, then I've got to can up all that tomatoes and garden medley vegetables and stuff. Oh, I'm glad, Chaos. I'm glad. So how are you, Rosie? Are you still bouncing on? Not today. Not today. I was in so much pain from yesterday. I don't think I did it yesterday either. So I'm definitely going to be starting it back in it tomorrow because I don't think I've done it since Friday. All of my big leaf plants have been crap this year. Pumpkins are already turning orange. No zucchini, few cukes, bummer. Well, like I showed on the video, I've got a couple of spaghetti squash that I think are zucchini squash, because I think I'm positive. Because they grew those ones were coming on just as my side ones, zucchinis were growing. So next year, all my zucchinis getting planted in the 2 front beds, and all my spaghetti squash are getting planted in the back. But I'm doing pretty good with zucchini, but we've been eating them as fast as we can. And the tomatoes that I have still ripening, I'm going to roast them. And then I'm going to puree them, and then I'm going to dehydrate them for tomato powder. Because my garden medley vegetables, which is tomatoes, this year it's tomatoes, zucchini, onions, leeks, and celery, takes nothing to dump that in with a can of home canned ground beef and throw in a tablespoon of zucchini powder, a tablespoon of tomato powder, and it will thicken it right up. Is it going to fit, darling? Awesome. Hi, Frenchie. What's that, dear? Did you get the fridge underneath, or did you just move it over? Oh, good. Awesome, dear. Thank you. You guys will see the new freezer when I have a pantry update to do. Hey, Lady Blue. I'm blaming COVID in the air for poor gardens these past. I'm blaming chemtrails and weather. I mean, that chemtrail stuff has to land somewhere, right? And it's full of metal and stuff. So, spank and squash! Hey, Stephanie, how are you, darling? Tony G! Yeah, I know the hot weather's coming back tomorrow. That's why I want to finish canning up my tomatoes and roasted vegetables tonight. And I got a big bag. All of my celery is, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. Half of it may go in the compost. And next year, I'm only growing 1 bed of celery. Mrs. V, I've been using some pieces of metal dog crates in my garden this year to stake things up. Is this a bad thing to do? There's no rut. No. Are you kidding? It's a great idea. I got baby gates out there and everything. But next year, I'm doing a better job on my spaghetti squash trellis. Soon, I'm going to be bringing in those spankin' squash or the zucchini spaghetti squash, and I'm going to cut into one because they're fairly big and see if it's more like a zucchini or more like a spaghetti squash. And if it's more like a zucchini, then I'll just peel it and blanch it and throw it in the freezer. I'll peel it, seed it, cut it up, blanch it, and throw it in the freezer for stir-fry vegetables. Heck, I might even make a pie. I have been canning and freezing and dehydrating like crazy. Can barely keep up. I hear ya. I hear ya. I'm even when I make the broth with those all those vegetables like the celery and the onion ends and all that stuff, I'm going to go through a lot of that and puree it. I'm going to take the onion skins out, of course, and I'm going to puree it. When it's after I get all the broth off, I'm going to puree it and see if I can't dehydrate it into a vegetable powder. You can make a pie out of that? Iggy, hang on a second here. Let me just go over to our half-acre homestead and show you a thing or two. You guys got to remember, I got over 3,000 videos in my catalog, going back 13 years next month. Whoops. I'll tell you something. The only thing that gave this away was me asking Howie, what kind of pie do you think that is? Because he honestly thought it was apple pie at the first. Paste. There. Watch that. That's how I made an apple pie out of zucchini. What's going on? Tuesday starts a new heat wave till the following Tuesday, and then it's going up to 108. Oh, my God. I hope you have some way to stay cool, stay safe, and stay hydrated. Lena is putting powders into everything so that the kids don't know. I've got kale and spinach powders, too. I watched how you started YouTube last night. Oh, really? Awesome. You have made a lot of videos, and I've seen every one of them. Well, thank you, Tony G. Andrew, I don't know anybody IRL who cans and preps. I find it fascinating. What does IRL mean, honey? What is IRL? I have not made green tomato pie, but I might try it. I might try it because God knows I got enough green tomatoes. And I'm going to have more. And oh my God, I tasted those bread and butter chow pickles. Oh, I could eat them with a fork. You know what? And someone said not Cheese Whiz. Someone said that Velveeta cheese is not real cheese. No, it's not, but you can make it. You can take a brick of sharp cheddar cheese and some gelatin and some milk powder and some hot water, and you can make a version of Velveeta cheese. I've done that too. And I might do that because those pickles on a Velveeta sandwich, ooh, doggy. Now, I don't like cheese. I don't do cheese slices or Cheese Whiz, but homemade Velveeta would be sure good. Has anyone been to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, planning vacation for 15th anniversary? Awesome. If we go late May, how would that be? Where do you vacation? This is my vacation. My vacation was having Angie here this summer. I don't have an air fryer. I don't know if that was somebody asking me or not. Oh, Gracie, pipe down. You'd think Daddy was a monster or something. Maybe he's been taken over by the body snatchers and she's trying to ward me. Just kidding. I'm really kind of off center, guys, because I'm exhausted. I'm really tired. And I got a full couple of days ahead of me again. So let's hope my big freezer works. Hey, Hal? Did you look for behind the freezer for a cookie sheet? I can't hear you, dear. Okay, still can't hear you, but it sounds enthusiastic. Oh. Okay. I have a recipe of mock apple pie using, but see, using Ritz crackers, I've heard of that, and a long time ago, my boyfriend's mother said you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, but the truth is, what's the point of putting crackers inside a pie shell? Yeah, it would do in a pinch, but the truth is, I'd rather use green tomatoes or zucchini and actually get some nutrition out of it, right? Coeur d'Alene, Idaho is beautiful in May. It's addictive. Canning is addictive. Easily understood. Fibromyalgia and all that kitchen work will well, you know what? I'm going to be editing I'm going to edit. I have to edit tonight to give you guys a video for tomorrow. And then I'll be editing all night I'm going to be working and recording and editing so that I can go for the Labor Day weekend to the races with Howie and not have to worry about y'all. You know what I mean? All right. Fan off. Smoke of the sacred white sage. Cleanse these cards. Bring out honesty. This is right upside down. Cleanse us of negativity, ill intent. Help us to bring forward our love, our joy, and our honesty. Carry our prayers and our joy to the Creator on the smoke. All right. Okay. Now, second smoke of the agenda. I found chicken breast for $1. See, that's what upset me is I paid $2.20 a leg for that chicken. Thank God it was still partially frozen. So, and I had one package, and I had some meat in the little freezer, and I had some meat in the fridge freezer. So we're not totally like without meat. And I did can, and I've got canned stuff in the freezer. So Bev, with the green tomato pie, don't forget to use a little cornstarch in the sugar and cinnamon mixture, just like with apple pies. Well, I got about 5 bags of clear gel that was given to me years ago, and 4 of the bags are still sealed, and I use that. So today, remember to take your supplements today. I take my magnesium, calcium, zinc at night, and I drank my green juice this morning. So it's the only reason I'm still moving. I want to dance with a big panty woman. I want to dance with a big panty girl. Can you water celery too much? No. Unless listen, the thing, hey, Tigger bouncing. Supermarket. Okay, so when I was talking in my tea break yesterday, I have gotten dozens and dozens of letters from you all about what prices are like in your area and what you're seeing shortages of. Keep those letters coming, folks, at connectedheartsfamily@gmail.com, because I want to once a week, because we don't have that many frugal living tips, although there are some. For instance, put everything that you can counter appliances, TVs, VCR. Oh God, they're showing my age. DVD players, sound bars, televisions, computers, all that stuff. Put all that stuff. What is that? Oh, the fridge dolly. Put all that stuff on power bars, and when you go to bed at night, shut off the power bar, because computer lights, monitor lights, little lights on your everything, but you can do that with everything except your internet, right? Like my Wi-Fi thing. And I think we're getting upgraded internet because we got a letter from Bell. What did I do with that letter? It says, hey, Patricia Carson, how's it going? Lacey Black, Linda Bopp, Paula in Canada. To ensure you keep receiving your internet service and have continuing access to the latest technology, we will be making upgrade to our network in your area. As a result, a Bell technician will need to replace your outdoor wireless home internet antenna to be compatible with our latest technology. The technician will visit your property and access your antenna on September 5th, which I believe is a Saturday. That's Monday. Oh, that's right. This is Quebec. They don't do Thanksgiving. Oh, no, that's September 5th. Wait a minute. Isn't that Labor Day? Yeah, that's Labor Day. They're coming on Labor Day? I doubt that. You will not have to be on site. The work can take up to 90 minutes and your service will be unavailable at this time. Well, I'm going to be at the track anyway. So I'm hoping, because we've been seeing these junction boxes, brand new junction boxes with big heavy cables going in them. They're showing up all over the country. And I do believe Bell 5 is coming. So I'm hoping I have it by Christmas. I've got all electrical on power bars. It's getting into the habit of turning it off. That's the problem. Is an arrowroot better than using cornstarch? Well, yeah. And there's also tapioca starch and potato starch. All of these things are pretty much interchangeable, although I'm not sure about the potato starch with the pie. Really, Paula? Because these junction boxes are like this big, and they sit on the ground at the base of the pole. So, hey, Lacey Black. Yeah, alternatives, absolutely. But since I have the modified cornstarch, I use it when I'm making pies, but I might make a green tomato pie and just see what Papa says. See what the old grandpa says. Oops. Ours is at the top of the poles now. Well, these are big square kind of beige, yellowy beige boxes. And I said, what the hell is that? Howie said, I believe it's a bell box. And then we got this in the mail. So, but I got another little freezer and it's in my pantry. So all my bread is going to be moved out of the little pantry or the freezer in the porch. The bread and the butter. All the bread products and the butter. And I'm going to leave vegetables and bacon and stuff like that in that one, but it's got to be defrosted soon too. So thank God I got another little freezer to dump everything in so I can defrost and go through before garbage day. I also got CCTV and can't turn it off. How can you not turn it off? Pasta is still hit or miss in my area. Lacey Black. What did I miss there? I'm in PA too. Okay. I saw my dad yesterday and my teen was making fun of me for buying generic everything. He said, I never buy generic. Well, Dad, I know better. My dad bought generic when generic items first came out. First time I ever saw a generic item was they were no labels. They were just had a white label with black writing on it. And then, then came out no frills and all that stuff. So it's different. PA. Hey, Candy Olson, how's it going? So that's what's going on. I am going to go through what's left of my celery in the bed. And if anything is worth saving, then I will, like anything that's not hollow or woody, I will chop up, blanch, and throw in the freezer. I'm not going to can any this year. Hey, Lily Carter. So I was talking to, who was I talking to? Stephanie from Let's Homestead Instead yesterday. She said the giant tiger in Shawville now has self checkout. Because the last time I went to Costco, I told the young lady that was helping unload my cart onto the thing. I said, "Do you guys have self checkouts now?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Look out for your job." She said, "Oh no, it just means there's more people on the floor to help you." And I went, "That's what the administration is telling you. Have you been to a Walmart lately? They're all self checkouts here now. At least in Quebec, they're all self checkouts." And I got even angrier when I went to Dollarama, and there were 3 self checkouts and one mentally handicapped, because he had to be mentally handicapped because he was so slow and he had to make change for a 20 with his fingers. Okay? And he was so slow that he was there. I'm sure he was put there deliberately to funnel people through the self checkouts. Please, folks, the more people who use the self checkouts, the more people who are going to lose their jobs. Hey, Donna Stafford, how's it going? I rarely buy name brand unless it's something that, I know better. Like mustard. It's either Heinz or French's, anything else. I like Elmer tomato ketchup. We use Heinz when Howie buys it. But I like Elmer tomato ketchup, Hunt's tomato ketchup. I think Hunt's has been bought out. My local shop has self-checkout now. I think thefts will soar and the price will be passed on. Yeah, Giant Tiger is like kind of like a Big Lots in the States. It has groceries and dry goods and clothing and a little bit of furniture, but not really furniture like, lawn chairs and curtains and all that stuff. Those self-checkouts record your every move. Well, the thing is, it's turning people into automatons. I pay those ridiculous prices no matter where it is, because even Dollarama isn't a Dollarama anymore. Everything starts at $1.25 and goes up to $3, $4, $10, $12. Because now that they've broke the Dollarama barrier, they can charge whatever they want. And those prices are not fair to make us bag our shit ourselves and pay for the bags. Hey, Elaine Trudeau, I hope you're not related to Pee Wee to Pee Wee Trudeau that we have in office. And if you are, you have my sympathy. I haven't seen Del Monte ketchup in years. Self-checkouts record your face with information of purchases and payment. Well, and the one self-checkout that I was forced to use in Walmart, which I will not patronize anymore. How's things going, baby? Did you find the cookie sheet?
It wasn't a cookie sheet, but there was a towel.
And was it in front of the vent? Oh, son of a birch. I get Whataburger ketchup as much as possible, but when Hunt's is $5, I pick up those for backup when my husband wants baked beans. There you go. Hey, how's it going, Paula? I'm exhausted from walking, let alone having to check my items out, but I have had to do it at Walmart, and I'm like you, I will shop there no more. No, I won't. And if self-checkouts come to our Giant Tiger, I'm going to be a one-man protest. I don't give a shit if I'm the only person there. But I'm going to park in that parking lot, and I'm going to put up a big sheet on both sides of my truck saying, don't use self-checkouts. You pay for that service. People will lose their jobs. It's that simple. Oh, well, that's good to know, Elaine. That's good to know. Exactly, Nina. Although I have not used an electric cart, but once in the last month. Haven't been done a lot of shopping, but when I went and did that big shopping with the chicken and all those vegetables and stuff, carts, and I schlepped that. I took it out to the truck and put it all in big Costco bags and schlepped that into the front porch. And then went back to the truck, schlepped another one to the front porch. I used my walker, but when the bags are really big, the walker isn't always very stable. And I schlepped that to the porch. And then I got up the stairs and I unlocked door and I schlepped it into the porch. And then I locked another door and I put what needed to go in the freezer and what needed to be going in the no, because I did a thing. Even Aldi's now has self-checkout. Hey, Willow's Garden. Well, the one self-checkout I was forced to use in Walmart wouldn't take cash. And that's another thing. Start buying with cash again, people. Like I've heard people say that there are some Walmarts in the US that do not have self-checkouts because they were in smaller areas. A Walmart out in the middle of the country and everybody from miles around came, right? But they said only 5 to 10% of people shopping would use the self-checkouts. And they would only leave one or two cashiers on. And the people would line up and the lineup would go all the way back to the store. And the manager would go, the self-checkouts are open. Nope, sorry, thanks. I know that person at the cash register. Oh, they're not going to lose their job. Nope, sorry, thanks. I'm fine. And people would visit in the lineup because they knew who was on the cash register and that person would eventually lose their job. Those people who stood up for not using self-checkouts saved their cashiers. But the truth is, we are being funneled so easily into this sheep chute. You put the sheep through the chute to be nipped and branded and sheared, and out comes out the other end. That's us, man. We're the friggin' sheep, I don't understand why people aren't getting this. Oh, neighbor just brought me 2 plates of Lebanese food. Blessing. Oh my goodness, that's lovely. I love Lebanese food. Where I live, our Walmart only has 2 checkers and the rest is self-checkout. Well, everybody should be using the checkers, not the self-checkout. WEF is behind all this. Well, Jane, you just read my mind. Because I was going to say, did anybody see? Now, folks, I am moving away from Facebook because everything I post on Facebook is censored. I'll post something where I have like 500 people on my Facebook, but only 18 are getting my posts. You know why? Because I put up a picture of Klaus Schwab in his funny little Star Trek outfit. And it said, how would you even spot an evil villain these days? It's not like they dress up in costumes and have a German accent or anything, right? No offense to the German people. None. Okay? We just want Klaus Schwab out of our lives. And next to it, I have a picture of Dr. Evil going, oh no, is everybody waking up now? Dr. Evil and Klaus Schwab side by side. It was hilarious. I'm getting rid of Facebook because I watched a Joe Rogan where Joe Rogan interviewed, and Joe Rogan's one. I've been in love with Joe Rogan since Fear Factor. Do y'all remember Fear Factor back in the day? He looked like family to me. I mean, forget Johnny Depp, okay, Sam Elliott's always out there. But if I could ever just talk to Joe Rogan, it would just make my day. Because that man has this smooth, cool, easygoing, laid-back way of interviewing people that makes people just step in their own shit, really. So he interviewed Mark Zuckerberg. And Mark Zuckerberg admitted to censoring stuff because they got a warning from the FBI saying, well, in 2016, or 2006 or whatever it is, Well, that kind of thing may be happening again. Right, sir? We won't do anything. And we redistribute it. We're still sharing it, but it's just not being seen as much. That's called censorship, right? So if it's not in your state yet, all these will be, because Grove City, PA has it now, and there's only 2 checkout places in the store, but 5 or 6 self-checks. Stop using the self-checkouts. They're turning people into automatons that are just doing things mechanically. You know, there's no interaction with the cashier, right? And that's another thing I said on my tea break. If you get something in your store and the price is not marked, maybe they're not marking the prices because they're afraid people are going to get too many. But if the prices aren't marked and you get it up there and it's too much, you tell them to take it back. Say, I am not paying for that. And say to the cashier, I'm not angry with you. I'm angry with the powers that be that think this is okay. So please take that back and make sure your manager hears about it. And if everybody gets up to the counter and has to ask the cashier to put half of their stuff back, the management's going to hear about it. And then corporate's going to hear about it. Okay? We just got to stop buying what they're selling because they've tried to sell it to us through fear. Let me just check. Is it buffering for... Oh, yeah, I'm gone from... I had a great TikTok channel. I got up to like 5,000 people in a month. And then all of a sudden, because I lit a joint, or because I talked about the prime minister, or because I talked about real things, they shut my channel down. And they didn't just shut it down. That channel, Mrs. Wolfie on TikTok, is still there. I can't delete my own videos. I can't personally retrieve my content because it's no longer my content. It belongs to TikTok. That's all I got to say to that. I'm on Instagram, but not too often, right? I don't have time, right? But folks, if you are not on, give me a second here. I'm going to tilt you for a second because I'm soon going to be completely deleting Facebook. Okay? I'm going to soon be, hear me, completely deleting Facebook. Facebook is gathering information, is selling your information, is censoring everything we say. Now, here's where I'm going to be, because I'm giving everybody till Friday to get off my Facebook before I delete it, and that includes the Connected Hearts Facebook page. Okay? I'm getting rid of Facebook. There's my Gab. Gab is uncensored. Yes, you're going to see a lot of wild and crazy crap on that platform, but that's the right to free speech. If you don't like it, scroll past. Right? But that's where I'm going to be from now on. So please, folks, go over to Gab, go to my channel, click the follow button. I will follow you back, and I will figure out how to make a new Connected Hearts Facebook page. Okay? My husband does Facebook, not me. I'm not. Hi, Marla. How are you? I'm not going to be doing Facebook much more. Cool. You were the only reason I did Facebook. Well, hear it now. I'm leaving Facebook. I've been saying it for 6 months or more, and now it's come time to put my money where my mouth is. What's the point of posting if you can't see? What's the point in posting if they're just going to censor my shit and it's not going to get shared? So I'm going back to, I'm always on Gab. I post these videos on Gab, live streams and everything get posted on Gab. And I'm shutting down Facebook once and for all. I'm going to be telling everybody on Facebook and all of my family I'm moving to Gab. And also I'm reopening my Cooking with Cannabis channel, but not on YouTube. not on YouTube. I'm opening I have Mrs. Wolfie on Rumble, but I've started, now I've got some cannabis channels on, cannabis videos on my Mrs. Wolfie Rumble. Let's give them something to talk about. But I'm going to start a second channel, Cooking with Cannabis, so that I can do my full and free baking and showing people how to make, canna vegetable oil. Because if I had canna olive oil, I could put a teaspoon of that on my salad and I'm good to go. You know what I mean? I have one group I belong to that's been getting hammered by Facebook, so I will be gone as soon as they get shut down. Yeah. Hey, A. Taylor, how's it going? I have never have any social media. Well, I mean, I've been on Facebook for years and it's just gotten, they don't even take down my shit anymore. They just don't let anybody see it. They just don't let anybody see it. So Rumble and Gab. Did somebody put my right? Thank you, Seashell. You're on top of things. There's my Rumble channel. Thank you, A. Taylor. And I'm going to be doing more tea break like rants on Rumble as well, because I've had it up to here with what the powers that be are trying to do to people. And it doesn't matter anymore who's right or who's wrong. What matters is your right to voice what you think is right and wrong with the world. That's your right. That's your right. Censorship is absolutely not okay. And yes, I get censored on YouTube too. But I have channels that these channels have been here for 13 years. So I'm going to pinch my nose and do things and be a good girl on YouTube. But meet me on Gab and Rumble if you want to start seeing more of the real me. I have not figured out how to go live on Rumble, but maybe I'll be able to do it on Gab. I don't know if I have to do it through YouTube or not, but whenever I have to go live and it's going to be controversial, I do it through my YouTube Cooking with Cannabis channel. Because as long as I have 1,000 subscribers, I can go live on there. They've deleted my monetization. They deleted my ability to accept tips. So I just use it when I want to do Freaky Friday, and I do it unlisted, and I use it when I want to do a live rant. So because any other channel, if I did that, they'd shut my channel down, and I can't afford to do that. Hi, Alice, good for you. And Ozan, I left Facebook 3 years ago. Best thing I ever did. I don't miss it. Well, almost all of the content creators have been backing up everything on Rumble. And yes, you can go live there. You have to have a third-party live software, and I never figured out how to use it. So until I get rid of Facebook and I figure out how to do it, I can't go live on Rumble. Unless I go live. I can go live on Rumble through my Cooking with Cannabis YouTube page. Just because YouTube doesn't monetize it doesn't mean Rumble won't. Dun 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 dun. I just don't want to risk my other viable channels, which is Life with the Wolfies, Reading with Beverly Wolfie, and our Half Acre Homestead. And fall is coming, folks, and as soon as the canning is done, I'm going to be reading again, and I've got knitting things to do. I'm not videotaping the things that I'm knitting because I don't. Ooh. I don't know who needs to hear this, but somebody got the raccoon card. It means the inventor. Decide on what you really want. You have the ingenuity to claim it. Doesn't that sound like it just popped what just happened? Avoid being the trickster and practice integrity. You have many roles and can juggle them well. I think that card was for me, eh? Cue dramatic music. Hey, Aces! Wow. These just keep flipping over. The White Stag. You are an old soul. Your best friend is nature. Use your intuition to take you where you want to go. Awaken to the powerful force within you. That's the source, right? You are meant to create blessings with your magic. That is so cool. Hey, Angie Mac. Cue dramatic. That's right. Now, for those who have not seen Reading with Beverly Wolfe, My Little House in the Prairie books are eventually, they're rough, but if you go on past them, my reading gets better. There's a tree grows in Brooklyn. There's a lantern in her hand. 9 brides in Granny Height. I'm halfway through the Anne of Green Gables series of books. And like in the book I just had, she's about to have a baby. Or the book I'm working on right now, she's about to have a baby. So that's that channel. Thank you, Seashell. So that's kind of what's going on. I'm busier than a one-armed paper hanger in a decorating demonstration. And all the books are in playlists, guys. All the books are in playlists. Bev, I bought 5 dozen ears of corn yesterday and a bushel of green peppers. And then I figured out today I don't have any more canning jars. Well, you know what you want to do is if you got room in the freezer, throw the corn on its husk, with the husks on, in the freezer. And every time you make a roast or a casserole, take a couple of those frozen cobs out, throw them in the oven, 350 degrees, for 45 minutes, about the same time as it takes to cook a casserole. And throw it in the freezer, or throw it in the oven, frozen, okay? And you'll have fresh corn on the cob for at least 2 years. Doesn't need to be canned. It comes in its own best wrapping. How do you get to Rumble? Seashell will give that to you in a minute. Bev, what is your name on Gab? I'm looking for you. I just gave you. It's Mrs. Wolfe. Hang on a second. Hang on. I just gave it to you. It's Mrs. Wolfe on Gab. And while I'm here, I might as well do Rumble. Hang on. Where's my Rumble channel? Oop, I see I've got some notifications on okay, my channels, because apparently I have 2. My channels. Mrs. Wolfe. Mrs. Wolfe. Let's give them something to talk about. Whoops. Oh, thank you, Malka. There we go. So, yeah, I'm not going to be on, and I'm getting off Facebook Messenger. I'm going to have Telegram Messenger, because that's all it is. I think that's all it is. Awesome, Lena. Move on over to Gab, folks. I'm leaving Facebook. I'll be emailing all my family. That's just the way it's going to be. I had the room to the peppers and corn, so I'm okay. Well, if you take the tops off those peppers and put them on cookie sheets, like hollow them out, put them on cookie sheets, like cups, and flash freeze them, you can stack them inside one another gently in bags, and you've got stuffed pepper makings for the rest of the year. So there's that. And you chop up slices of the peppers, put them on cookie sheets, and freeze them, and then put them in a bag. Oh, well, thank you, Lena K. Got you. Wonderful. Walmart in Johnstown, PA, have the canning jars on sale for $11. Yeah, a friend of mine who lives in, I think it's Tweed or Napanee. She moved from Trenton to Tweed or Napanee. And she went into Walmart, and the jars were, the pints were 17 something a dozen. So awesome, Angie Mac. I tried Telegram and I can't figure out how to work it. I love to listen to your audiobooks. You're fantastic. Well, I'm getting there. I'm learning, okay? I'm losing my sight and listening to you read lifts my spirits. I type looking at out the side of my eyes. Oh my God, Anne. Well, listen, once I'm finished the Anne of Green Gables books, I'm going to do Little Women. I've been promising it for over a year. And I'm now reading another Betty Smith book. Betty Smith wrote A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. And I forget what it's called. Well, I can't check my Kindle. I do a lot read with paperbacks and hardcover books, but when my hands are sore from canning, I use my Kindle at night. Telegram requires your cell phone number, not going there. Okay, well, I'll find something else. But I'm in Instagram on chats, right? Let me get my Instagram for you if I can find it. Share. Is it on here? Nope. Okay, hang on a second. I'm not moving all my videos over to Rumble. I've got too many, but I am going to start new ones on Rumble. Okay, here is the same. There's my profile. Home. Hang on. Well, here's my Instagram. And there's messaging, but it uses Facebook Messenger too, I think. As best you can before purchasing. What's that? What did I miss there, Jean? I just picked up half-gallon jars for storage, and 1 out of 6 was deformed glass. Oh my goodness. 17 for quartz in Vernon, BC. Your Anne series are just awesome. I'm the daughter of a teacher who loves read aloud. In my late 30s, I love being read to. Well, there you go. Well, I'm getting better. I'm getting better at Anne of Green Gables is hard because every book there's new characters and you have to feel them out before you can get an idea of who they are. You really have to be into reading and characters because I know a lot of people. I know some people who read and they're like monotone, right? So my husband just told me that Instagram is owned by Facebook. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. You can always email me at connectedheartsfamily@gmail.com. And, you can email me there, guys. I check it every day. You may not get great big long replies, but you send me information, say hi, how you doing, whatever. You'll always get a little reply back, even if it's only a thank you for keeping me posted. She is my sweetheart. I know. Thank you, Seashell. My goodness, you're always on the ball, Seashell. The fact that Instagram is part of Facebook is the reason I'm debating on deleting that one too. Well, I'm thinking of if it's owned by Facebook, I'm getting rid of Instagram too. Right? I will find a messaging app that we will be able to communicate on, and I will be able to. But for now, join Gab, join Rumble, because I'm going to, every time I upload a video, I'm going to upload it to Gab now. Okay? I am already doing that. So, well, honey, you do wonderful. $30 for 9 jars here. I'm dumping older jars and just washing and sterilizing those jars and reusing with new tops. There you go. Chili base cooking down. Yay! Oh, God, I got to go stir my veg. I'll be right back. Oh! And I got to check on supper. I need to bounce tomorrow. God, you got to be on the ball in this house in canning season. I'm worried Bev will get out of her bounce routine. Don't you worry about me, Malka. It's canning season. Tomorrow I start all over again because bouncing actually helps my body to remain more flexible. And I don't just bounce. I bounce and I do tension stretching with rubber bands, and I do curls with a rubber band for my feet. I do all kinds of stuff, and I dance a little bit. I just have had to hit the ground running for the last 2 days. Little House on the Prairie was awesome at learning how to read chapter books. Anna Green Gables helped me with learning at an elevated level. There you go. I can see your weight loss. Thank you, God. Hello from Fort Worth. Hey, Kingdom Artists. Fort Worth, Texas, finally getting rains after 2 months of 100. Oh, thank God. Poor Texas. I swear to God, the Weather Network is trying to turn it into a desert. And you know why? Because Texas is independent. If I was an American, I'd be Texan. I would. Hey, Linda Chandler, how's it going? I would afraid of that rubber band coming back at me. No, I'm standing on it. The one that I'm doing the curls with, that I'm stepping, it looks like a skipping rope. I'm stepping on that. Guys, I'm 310 pounds, okay? That thing, it's not going anywhere. It's in under the arch of my foot. And I do 5 curls with it. And the reason I'm going slow is because, yeah, you can whip them like that, but it's easier. It's better for your muscles if you do things slow and deliberate, and it makes each muscle group work. And then I switch to the other foot just in case I'm getting a slightly different angle. So I do 5 with each foot. Yeah, Mother Nature certainly does need her. Oh, honey, that'd bring out the Annie Oakley in me so friggin' fast. Is anybody else buffering? It's probably because of the subject matter. They have their other ways of. I have an 18-quart roaster. I put tomatoes and veg in it, turn it on low, cooks for hours, no burning, stirring now, and then works great. Well, I did that I roasted tomatoes, and you'll see it in the video, but the first batch got burnt all around the edges. And it's not, for me, it's not about flavor. It's about removing the skins easily and then getting them into the stock pot as fast as I can. It did for a bit. It's fine now. I'm quitting pop 3 weeks and I've had 2. Just my son quit pop. He realized that the amount of pop he was drinking, it was like an alcohol thing, but with pop. And he said now, after like 2 years of not drinking it, he said, now I can have one now and again, but I'm not drinking it like, all the time. So anyway, folks, we've been on here an hour. Supper is ready. I thought it was going to be another couple of hours, but it looks to be ready. I drink tea, green juice, and water. And I think I'm going to freeze my watermelon. I think I'm going to put it through. I actually have a Breville juicer, like a different kind of juicer than the slow grinding one. I have a juicer, I think. And even so, I can just do it in the blender and put it through a sieve. But I'm going to freeze watermelon juice with those 2 big watermelons. I buy mini cans of pop, but rarely drink it. Hey, Karen Belair, I tried lemon juice on watermelon. I know. Good, isn't it? Like, you know how watermelon, especially in the wintertime, has got almost no flavor, right? You cut up chunks of watermelon, take the skins off and everything, put them in a bowl, and squeeze a half a lemon over that. Oh, you will never eat watermelon. It's like the one time I didn't see, for instance, Howie never liked watermelon. To him, it was like, pfft. Briar was the same way. No, I don't want any, right? Well, when the kids were here to tell us we were going to have a grandson, and we were playing board games, I put a bowl of watermelon out, and I had squeezed a lemon over it. And Mel was like, oh my God, this is the best watermelon. I said, it's the lemon juice. So Briar tried a bite. Howie tried a bite. And now Every night after supper, we have to have a bowl of watermelon with lemon juice, a bowl of watermelon chunks with lemon juice on it, so that, Howie can have his sweet. Because the lemon juice punches up the watermelon flavor. Well, these 2 watermelons I got are seeded. So, and I have a Ninja. So I think what I'll do is I'll just maybe I'll just put them in the blender and then run them through a sieve. Like with cheesecloth or a fine mesh sieve. I think I have a fine mesh sieve I can use. I love watermelon. I started drinking. Hey, Gypsy Mama Prepper. I love my green juice. I love my green juice. I was really pissed when I got in the truck today and I spilt like over a third of it. It got knocked over. 12-pack of Diet Coke a day, free at the law firm I worked at and more at home. You know why? You know why it's free? It's poison. I'm telling you. Fluoride, poison. Aspartame and artificial sweeteners, poison. MSG, poison. All these chemicals they put in shit is poison. The less chemicals we use, okay, let me put it to you this way, okay? Okay, Paula, take care, sweetheart. Mwah. I gotta find Tajin. I haven't seen it anywhere, or Tajin, the thing. Okay, Elaine. Here's what the way it's supposed to work with the Food and the Fear and Death Administration, or Canada, we want your health. When something has an acceptable level of toxins, when you buy a can of Coke and all of the chemicals in that Coke are safe, or a safe dose, if that Coke is the only thing you're consuming with no chemicals in it. You wonder why half the planet is ill? Because things like KD and soda and potato chips cooked in canola oil. And I just watched, I'm watching the old Supernatural series again. Coke is good on cleaning batteries. There you go. Let me put it to you this way. I'm watching Supernatural again. I think we're in season 7, where this guy from soap operas, but he's this really good actor. He's got this way of smiling and talking and being firm and all that stuff and pleasant, but his eyes are completely dead. He's like the head of the Leviathan kind of thing. He is creating fast foods that dumb people down, because eventually people are going to be the food chain. Kind of whole Soylent Green thing going on. And don't be fooled, folks. Don't be fooled. Don't think it can't happen. They're already putting insect proteins into food now. Insect proteins. Proteins made, and they've given them these fancy names so you don't know what the hell they are. Because I'm telling you, folks, look around you. I got countryside as far as I can see. Nobody should be starving. Nobody should be hungry. There are fields and bush and trees and lakes and rivers. Life isn't just in the cities. So why are we importing everything? Didn't we learn anything from the pandemic? We should not be relying on out of country or out of continent trading to feed our people. We've got enough natural resources, lumber, clean water, farming country to feed everybody. But they're making it impossible for people to have a little bit of land and make it sustainable. They're overpricing land to the point where people can't even buy a home anymore. If I can't pronounce the ingredients, I don't want to eat it. There you go. Well, of course, because once we're filled with, bugs and protein and stuff, we make. Did you know that one of the animal closest to humans in genetic makeup is the pig? I'm getting rid of pork, unless it's, of course, cured bacon, right? Why is anyone going hungry? Yeah, exactly, Audrey, right? Coach roach flour is in our food also. So, this is what I'm saying. Don't be buying all the crap on mainstream media. They're still sending out the jab for 4th and 5th boosters when everybody knows Fauci's retiring at the end of December. Do you know why? Because he's bilked the entire world. And he's going to be coming up on charges. There's going to be a lot of people going before trial for going to trial for crimes against humanity, for fraudulent shit, for insider trading. All of these things that the governments are doing are now coming to light, and nobody's buying it anymore, especially if it's on the news. You might get a nugget of truth in the news, but it's so far skewed from reality that we can't trust it anymore. Everybody's, got Ukraine flags and stuff. We don't know. I'm not saying anything against or for Russia and the Ukraine. What I am saying is all the information we're getting is from what? Mainstream media. And we figured out over the last couple of years that mainstream media has been funneling us into behaviors and lying to us for years, decades. No, Giant Tiger doesn't carry it. I had a shoulder operation once and they used pig tissue to repair my wound. I slept in bed. Not in bed, but I slept when I had my breast reduction surgery when I was 16. The woman was 80 years old. She had half her foot removed from diabetes, and they were using pig skin grafts on her foot. So tell me why it's okay to eat what can so easily be transferred to our body. Right? Anyway, this is as far as I can go without getting slapped on the wrist, and everything's going to start going buffering. And I really don't want to talk about this on my YouTube platform. But I may be going live through YouTube Cooking with Cannabis on Rumble. We'll see. All right. Listen, guys, I have to go dish up dinner and take my roasted vegetables out. Where are all my elastics? Oh, there they are. Take my roasted vegetables out because after supper and an hour of TV, watching Supernatural. Do you remember in Men in Black? Let's put it this way. Do you remember, hey, Samantha. Hey, Renee. I'm sorry if I missed you. Do you remember in Men in Black with Will Smith? And he said, yeah, we got to check the hot sheets. And he goes and gets all the international news where Bat Boy and the devil was seen in the desert and all that stuff. You know those sensational news rags? And Will Smith said, "You're kidding, right?" And he goes, "Actually, a lot of this stuff is more truth than what's printed in the regular newspaper. It's just that they're making fun of it so people won't believe it." He said, "These are the hot sheets," right? So, mainstream media, you guys, what has happened now with all the censorship on Facebook, all of the propaganda on mainstream media, and you can't even trust Wikipedia anymore. So what does this tell you? This tells you to keep books in your house. Buy older books. Okay? I have a complete set of, I think, 1967 Popular Mechanics do-it-yourself books. That teach you to make a spinning wheel. That'll teach you to build a septic. That'll teach you how to build a boat. Okay? It may only be a rowboat, but it'll teach you how to build it, right? Books, books, books. They're almost out, right? I don't trust people that don't read books. Yes, I read on Kindle sometimes, but I read books. Why? Because older books have the truth as they see it at that time, right? I am going to say goodbye now. What we're going to do is we're going to have a prayer to dispel all this negative. There's no negativity. We're just talking. We're just shooting the shit, right? Well, there's a lot of Bibles too, aren't there? Don't not read a book just because you think it's skewed differently. Even the Bible and the Quran and the Torah, right? They all have meaning. They all have pearls of wisdom inspired by God. Just too bad they were interfered with by man, right? They're already taking books from schools. Well, when they started, before the pandemic, when they started bringing tablets and laptops into the schools, I sounded like, what's her name on Call the Midwife? Sister, whatever, not Sister Julianne, but the mouthy one. I love her. She said, it's the thin end of the wedge, I tell you. It's the thin end of the wedge. When they started bringing electronics, calculators. See, when I learned to do trigonometry, I did it without a calculator. I learned how to do it, right? But when they started bringing things, technology into the classroom with tablets and laptops instead of books, it's the thin end of the wedge, because nobody's going to be able to. How are we going to verify anything if all we have is the internet and the internet lies? Let's say a prayer. This is for all of us who just want to join hearts. And you go to your faith, I'll go to mine, and we'll all come together under the bubble of God is good all the time. And God is love. And that's where we're going with this, okay? Sister Monica, no, that's Sister Monica Joan. No. Sister Evangeline. Sister Evangelina. And, she's my favorite character. Well, I love them all. I love Sister Monica Joan. I love Sister Julianne. And I love Sister Evangeline. I love all the characters. So anyway, hey, Linda Bob. Don't know how to do long division and simple math. I'm telling you, when I was in the giant in the dollar store, my order was I think it was $39.45, and I gave them $40. Okay, so all you have to do is go 39. You've given me 40, 39. 39.45, so 45, 50, and another 50 it's like 55 cents. But he had to use his fingers, and they put him there deliberately to force people into using the self-checkout. They're forcing us, folks. We may not know it, but they are forcing us into a digital economy, a digital way of life. They're this whole metaverse. Let's put it this way. Do you ever wonder why I didn't buy the virtual reality headset? Because you have to be a member of Facebook to use it. And that was my deciding factor. And now they're putting them on children. I know people, entire families, will sit in the same room, but they will all put on their headsets and visit in virtual reality because it's cooler than sitting and talking. Whatever, I'm going to do a game of cards. Yes, you're right. This is the time, right? And unfortunately, 75% of the planet Okay, let's be hopeful. 60% of the planet is going to are just complete volunteers for the new world order, the new way of being, the digital reality, and they're already talking about incorporating digital identity with nanotechnology. Forget the chip, folks. It's going to be injected into you. The shots were all just a trial, right? And nobody's paying attention to that it's still a trial. It's still, shots are still a trial until 2023. And people are getting very, very sick. So Star Trek, the one with the game. Oh my God. Really, I know. Anyway, now that I've given everybody a chance to who didn't want to stay, and there's no judgment, but let's say a prayer. You want to do some deep breathing with me? You connect to your faith, I'll connect to mine. And everything that's different between our faiths will just leave at the door. And we'll just come together in love and light, right? Inhale positive and exhale negative. And one more time. Hey, God, creator and one source of everything, including the universe, the multiverse. God, we know there are volunteers on this planet who don't know any better, because that's what they chose to be when they came into this world. And we know there's hard times coming, God, and there's huge, fast changes, and they're happening almost overnight. And they're happening so fast, people can't even see them. And we ask you, God, we ask you to protect those people who don't know how to protect themselves. We ask you to fill us with your light and your love and continually light our path as we go forward in these weird and freaky deaky times. Because we know, God, when our path is lit, the darkness has to make way. The only thing that can push back the darkness is light. And your light is the divinest and lightest light of all. Please continue to light our way as we go forward, searching for the truth within our hearts, within our souls, and within the absolute chaotic amount of information that is being thrown at us on a daily basis. Help us to listen to our instincts, God. Help us to listen to you. Keep us safe as we walk forward in your light. Thank you, God. Thank you. Amen. Namaste. Shalom. Peace be with you. Merry meet, merry part. Blessed be. Peace be with you. Walk in the walk in the divine light of God's path. I love you guys. Don't forget, look me up on Gab, look me up on Rumble, because I'm leaving Facebook and I'm leaving Instagram. Take care. God bless. We'll see you guys on Thursday for the next public live stream. And if I can figure out how to go live on Rumble with my other YouTube channel, maybe we'll meet there where we can really talk. Take care. God bless.